Okay. Oh my gosh, we're to the video, dude. we're to we're to this video series, and I've realized something that it does mesh with another thing that I'm talking about. So, but I figured we'll talk about Mario 64 first, and we'll get into Shadow of Colossus Part 2. But we might add some hints of Shadow of Colossus is part 2 video through this, but depending on the situations, this has to be on the situations. Okay, so these simple pictures are because we're not going to get so confused on this, okay? Because there's a lot of things around it, and there's just a ton of things. This is a good starter, okay? Very good starter. And you still feel the scary energy from this. You still feel it because it's like simple. It's like what? Mario, the word red, and the coin, right? Like, so we know that there's red coins in Mario, okay? There's so many things about red coins. Mario Sunshine even has red coin things. Lately, Tears of Kingdom has kind of made some things a little easier with Tears of Kingdom. Overall, from what I've seen from the game, it's a different kind of scary. It has things from many games, and many games you're just thinking about. You're thinking about Star Fox 2. With the new Zelda Tears of Kingdom characters, they're trying to make you think about the character models, even Star Fox Command, because if you played Star Fox Command, the characters in Star Fox Command definitely look like the hero, the new characters that Zelda's crying over. The Princess Zelda just cries over. But Princess Zelda is so weak that it's easy for this fake Ganondorf to get to her. So, the whole thing is to be creepy, though, because, they have cell phones, they have pictures, cameras, whatever. So the whole thing in the game, and they even have, like, Link using, like, a USB port to charge his phone. There's a bunch of creepy things in there. It's a different kind of creepy, too, I've seen from it. They're using a bunch of distractions, but they're doing kind of a whole entire new form of creepiness. And they're using Zelda because Zelda's just an easy thing for them to use. And they prefer to use Zelda than use it on Mario. So they're going to use a different whole entire angle with that. But okay, so what's the confusing thing behind these three things? Okay, so the R, right? R and Mario just making the red coin, but so oh boy, this one right here, oh boy. Oh boy. When you do all this stuff to drain the water underneath, you don't have to do too much to get to it, but you do enough, you literally swim through a tunnel, kind of like the wet dry world thing, but like you swim through a water tunnel, you knock out two of the blocks, and two of the blocks will drain the water. Now, I'm also kind of trolly because I'm not going to go into like full detail what everything that's going on, but I'm also trying to show something that you just need to see. So they drain the water. You unlock another secret part level over, where it's at. It's like that little hole that leads you to like the moat. This is where you get we get mention of a moat. We get mention of we start out with the invisible cap. We have to go unlock the invisible cap. There's like a little frustrating jumping puzzle. I like how it's more frustrating with the Switch controller now, but it's not as frustrating with the 64 controller. Of course, that's why you could purchase a 64 controller for your Switch. Okay, so yeah, take you to a level that's basically an unlockable level, but the unlockable level has so much detail that a lot of stuff. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in that unlockable level. There's way too many stuff in that for just being like a one course level thing. And there's just plenty of things you can do there. The red coin thing is like, and it's funny because they shoved the red coin thing in because they know how hard the red coin thing can be. It can be actually pretty hard, and I guess the way you play the game can make it even harder. So perfect time for Mario 64 to show you how creepy it really is. Like it's showing you creepiness throughout the game, but like to show you how like it just makes you feel like you're playing more than a video game. It makes you feel way more than what a video game would be. So if you go down the ramp and you're trying to get the red coin, there'll be a red coin next to the extra lives, like the extra lives that you see like down. And we're not even talking about any of the wall details or anything yet, but we're talking about like on the side of the wall. So 3 triangles. There's just a bunch of triangle patterns, but like there's a certain triangle pattern, and it's a different color than the other triangles, which is a very good optical illusion, whatever thing. It's showing you like the simple pattern of taking a triangle and drawing it 3 times. But you could draw, like, rather than drawing the Triforce, you could draw 3 different triangles and you can make something else completely, just something else completely different. And it's just, the Triforce is like on math, like math things, because the Triforce in Zelda is like a math thing. But in this one, they show you, because you're so fixated on Zelda, you're fixated on Mario, you're fixated on just video games in general, probably even fixated on math, because math has like the symbols and all that for the triangles. So it's crazy what you can do with the amount of detail. So if you draw a triangle in a different angle, like than the other 2 triangles, then you can shove a triangle like a head, right? And I told you, this series is going to be repetitive because that's what's creepy about it. But so the head that it's literally showing you the head, and it's crazy because it's showing you the head that's the Shadow of Colossus secret that I've revealed recently with the head. It's showing you the head. Okay, so it's showing you the exact layout for the head. It's showing it to you on the side of a ramp sliding down. You have to get back up there. You have to get you have to adjust your camera quite a bit too. But so yeah, completely different game. Shadow of Colossus. Shadow of Colossus is a different game for the PS2, and it's showing you the creepy head glitch that can be found in Shadow of Colossus. It's showing you right there through 3 triangles that are not connected to make a Triforce, like just 3 triangles. And it's also showing you the optical illusion of how you take Mario 64. I'm telling you, it's just like the best game ever because it has little angles, it has big angles, it has small angles, but so you could put the exact same picture, okay, on a big angle or a tiny angle, and if you put it on a tiny angle, you get a different kind of pattern. So that's probably like just a lot of talking of programming, uh, because you always got to have a backup. You always got to have a backup plan to what you're drawing. Because you're first starting out drawing in video games, especially with a 3D video game, and that's just kind of like a rough draft sometimes. And but it doesn't come off as a rough draft in Mario 64. It comes off as the same kind of atmosphere, the same head. It comes off as the same thing as the PS2 version. Now, that's probably why for the longest time when we entered the GameCube, Xbox, and PS2 era, that they were talking about new textures and everything, okay? Because it's easy for me to say, for you to buy a PS2, an Xbox, a GameCube, if I say, oh, there's new textures, there's new graphics, but it's even creepier when I still have that same texture and I put it into a PS2 game, which are two, they're supposed to be two different. See what I'm saying? Like they make you say they're supposed to be two different platforms. They make you say that the PS2 is a different platform, and they make you say Nintendo is a different platform. Like they say the two companies are different. Okay, now there's all kinds of complex business moves, like Nintendo works with Xbox, Xbox works with Sony, Sony works with Nintendo on certain games. But yeah, see, this is the creepy energy that we're trying to talk about. Okay, so Mario 64 for the Nintendo it was a launch game for the Nintendo 64. And 100%, it's just showing you one of the Shadow of Colossus secrets. It's not showing you all of it. It's only showing you the head. I could argue that they might be even showing a little bit of the body, but like they're mostly just showing the head. Okay, so there's so many things within just this simplicity of this. Because so the Triforce always has the missing piece in there, that we always have the three pieces and then there's like a missing piece. So it's an advanced drawing. Triforce is definitely advanced drawing because the amount of things that they can fit, and like I told you, they can rotate actually one of the triangles that you think you know what the Triforce is, but you really don't know what the Triforce is, because the Triforce can kind of like how a 3D animation of a game would like take a star. And this could also be why, like, because in the beta pictures, the star looked different for Mario 64. The star always looked different, but like it's just showing you like maybe that was a mean insult. Maybe the beta pictures for Mario 64 was a mean insult, and like, oh, these are the stars. We can make them a little different shape, different feel. And then later we will just change the pictures and say that we're helping with Banjo-Kazooie, and that was like a legit thing that they were talking about, like how they were helping with Banjo-Kazooie, but like the star, so the star, that's a creepy thing, a cool creepy thing that like, okay, like, hi gamer, hi, I'm the guy that made this game, I'm a smart guy that made this game. Hey gamer, let me tell you that this star, let me tell you that the size of what this star should be, but really it's a triangle that I can expand, zoom in, zoom out. And that's why I've always talked about like a point being like I had like the point, like the split of the head, because it's like a point, and I desperately would love to just do that animation again, because I want to see what else it would load, or if it would load different. If it would load different, because it's a test box, and Shadow of Colossus is like a test box. Okay, so the importance is repetition. Okay, that's another thing that's a blocker. Okay, so with a video game secret, if I can make it repetitive, okay, I can make the person like me right now that's talking. Okay, you can make me come off as crazy. So Nintendo's notorious for this. Nintendo's notorious for just being like, they're a smart company. Good luck. They will literally they will literally squash people's theories. They will squash people's ideas. But the funny part is when it's a simple thing for them just to say to me, "Oh, it's a theory," but it's not going to work with me because I understand their repetition. So I understand their silly little repetition thing. In the past, I've seen it too because everybody was having their theories, even in like take a game like Mario Odyssey. Everybody was having their theories how but in my thing's not even a theory, but like theirs they were talking about the hat. They were talking about the hat, and they were like saying like, "What's up with Mario Odyssey's hat? Wherever his hat goes, he can become it. You know, he can become anything through that." And Nintendo squashed that right away. That's the thing that they squashed it because they're like, "Oh no, this is because." It's understandable. It is. It's understandable. Super Mario Odyssey selling well, right? You don't want to stop the sales of Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey is a very good game. Um, you'll have, you'll just have a ton of things with it. And since it's sold well, yes, that's the thing. Just because a product sells well or does good, normally when a product sells good or well, what else do you bring in? You bring in all the haters, you bring all the consumers, or the critique reviewers. Okay, so the reviewers for that. So, but there's all kinds of things when you're selling and making a game or doing a game, and it's kind of like I told you, it goes back to the annoying. There's so much repetition. It goes back to the annoying thing of like, okay, so whenever a Mario game comes out, a 3D Mario game comes out, it's just like it's powerful. It's a juggernaut. And there's movies, there's TV shows, and there's video games exactly when that 3D Mario comes out. So, the Zelda game being so fast that now they can make it, like they can make this Zelda Breath of the Wild, then they make Zelda Tears of Kingdom. And the speed of that. So in the past, it would just be, okay, so they'd have to wait a few years to bring out the 3D Mario game, okay? Because the 3D Mario game, it would take them a bit. But so now they're just in the gap that they can't bring out that Mario game. Now they're bringing out Zelda. And so now they just bring out Zelda. They do different things with Zelda, they add some things. There's some things I've seen that have been interesting in Tears of Kingdom. Like I told you, there's the Star Fox stuff. But okay, so it's pretty creepy already. The part enough of telling you because you think after you drain the water. You're like, well, I already did it. I did everything I needed to do. You go down there and you're like, oh man, but you haven't done even like, you haven't done even like 10%. Now, all this is explained to you just to show you how far this Mario 64 secret, when we get to this Mario 64 secret, okay? When we get to this, you're going to see how it is. Now, Enemy Zero too. Enemy Zero should be good enough for you. 12 gate. There's so many things in Enemy Zero, man. And Enemy Zero is like, it's a game of Sega. It's oh my gosh, dude. There's just a ton of things on that game, and they really have not re-released or made like they haven't really made easy ways to play it. And of course, they still have the preferred way to play it, which is to purchase a Sega Saturn, and then you can play Enemy Zero, So they still have that going on. And like I told you, the market's a key thing with the Switch Online. They're going to start doing these online services, and they're going to start trying maybe even to make like games like Enemy Zero, accessed more. But oh yeah, that's another thing too. Is if you're ever wondering, like, because right now you probably like want Quest 64, you want Mole Mania, you want some other games. There's some other games you want on online services. Uh, right now the games that they're giving you are good, but like it's also they're only going to give you the games that like I'm saying, they're only going to give you the games that because they have a specific market project that they're trying to do, and they're not trying to reveal so many things as to just show you new things, because the easiest market they have right now is trying to avoid the past and go into like the future stuff, like, so to avoid any of this past stuff that we're going to talk about. But like I know how powerful the Mario 64 secret is. I know how powerful it is, and that's why like we've made this part simple, because it's only gonna be able to be there. There will be a point where in the future videos I might shoot like something, another thing. I might shoot a powerful thing right away. I might do that, but for now, I need to get the other stuff, and I need to make sure, and I have to start with this because when it comes to a secret in video games, there's different ways you can hide it. You can hide it like be like, oh, it's an impossible secret, Um, but there's also the way I can hide it where it's like easy, super easy. And that's that's another problem one. Like sometimes there is, and you could even look at examples of Easter eggs and stuff on games. Not everything is really difficult to find. I mean, like I just say like Banjo-Kazooie is a pretty simple one, because it's like when you're going to collect all the notes in Banjo-Kazooie, you'll get on the boat, you'll smash the window, you'll have a picture. That's the different ways that secrets and Easter eggs and things are shown. But that one's not even hard, because like if you play Banjo-Kazooie enough, you know about the zoom in feature, and then once you do the zoom in feature and you're near the beds, you go to the beds and there's the posters, and then you can see the posters. So that's not a hard one at all, and that's Banjo-Kazooie showing you a different way of doing it, just like a different way of attacking something or doing something. And, but like, yeah, think about all the stuff too, because like you're swimming through that water tunnel. There's been many arguments when it comes from Mario swimming into a water tunnel. But yeah, there's a lot of arguments with him, just swimming through any kind of tunnel like that, and because it's a basement too. Basements get flooded. There's all kinds of things to it, and but to jam it right there is the funny part, because you have the sign you read, and the sign tells you about how you pound the switches. You have even more repetitiveness, because you're going outside the castle again, and you never thought you'd be going out the castle. You thought, oh, I'm in the castle, now I'm not going to go outside the castle. But then you get outside the castle, and you're going to different parts of the castle. So there's that, and it's a lot of repetitiveness. Okay, so we can end on like this part too, because this is creepy, but makes sense. Okay, so when they were doing the reviews for Skyward Sword, okay, because sometimes people want to do different reviews for video games. Okay, Zelda normally gets a lot of good reviews, and this Zelda game, they wanted to make controversial reviews, because they wanted to be like the repetition. Morgan Webb specifically is like, okay, so I was surprised a long time ago, by the way, because this was just like opinions of stuff. Okay, so I really don't like Morgan Webb's views. her views are just like she's advertising another company, whether it be a phone game, whether it be Sony, whatever game she wants to advertise. And the thing I don't like about her, because sometimes when you don't like something too, it's scary altogether. But she basically, in her review for the game at that time, she just wanted to say like, oh, the repetitiveness was annoying, and that's why I couldn't give this game a 5 out of 5. But I'm gonna give this game a 4 out of 5, But I just can't give it a 5 out of 5 because of the repetitive puzzle, which is like in the desert where you get the bomb weapon, which is the weapon to pick up the bombs and all that. But like that was completely different from any Zelda game. Like Zelda games are very cautious to take away that repetitive thing. But sometimes, like after playing so many of the same dang video games, and if you're like playing Madden, or if you're playing just like a video game and you're playing like it's the newest version of Madden, or you're playing like a new version of a shooter or whatever, like a sequel to a shooter, or you're playing some game and it's like all the same stuff. It's kind of nice that some video game is willing to show that you can do something with repetition. And there's games that are also appreciated for repetition, just RPGs, just the grind of an RPG, just the RPG trying to make you say, nope, you can't get here until you do this, until you do that, until you do this and that. And repetitiveness is a very good element to add in new games, because if I just trying to make it fun all the time, I'm gonna take a feel of the game, like a feel of the game. So I'm gonna take an emotion away from the game. If I make a game feel like basically all other games, it's just gonna feel like another game, and you're just gonna be bored. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You're just gonna be bored. You're gonna be like, oh, this is another game. Like it'd be like if you were like playing Matrix, the first Matrix game that they made, like Enter the Matrix. And then all the other games that you're playing ahead of it. This is why. This is another scary part, because Morgan Webb is basically, she is she has a good resume. Okay, she's an American TV person. Okay, so she's an American TV person. And it's just another blockage that they have. Like they already have the blockage of where a game developer will go up to you as the gamer, and they can say what they want to say with their product, okay? But now they want to enter something else. They want to enter in people that are just talking on TV, and they want those people on TV to be with them, okay? So if they're with them, if you find any secret in a video game, like a legitimate secret, or if you find anything, or if you're going to talk about stuff, okay, they're going to try and have a blockage, okay? And it's the respect goes of you respect them on their blockage, because the one thing you respect on their blockage is they're just trying to make sure the product sells well. They're just trying to make sure that everything that they did was good, because they're dealing with critics. They're also dealing with game critics. But the scary thing is like just that they have another person. So producer's a really smart person, and yes, Morgan Webb is a really smart person also. So I mean, you have like two different things. You have two different. You have a video game developer, and then you have somebody. And she, like Morgan Webb, is a model, so she's selling all kinds of different markets. She's not just reviewing video games. She's mainly doing the modeling market. She's in like San Francisco area. She's doing all kinds of different things because those jobs are actually hard to obtain, depending on what job you're trying. If you're trying to like work with IGN, if you're trying to work with TV networks. So yeah, but yeah, see that's another thing. They use boring they use a lot of boring. Okay, so everything like they use boring, well, like tutorials. I don't consider it like boring, but they use like tutorials. They use like instructions. They use like build it, like kind of like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and they constantly use this, and they'll use it any time they get. So that's what they're using so far.